All right, everybody, ding, ding, ding. We are back at it again. This is Troy Vaughn, also known as Tre Amazing, your favorite part-time stripper, part-time megachurch pastor, but full-time dating commentator. And we are back with another epic episode of Ringside Presents Corner Confessions. And we have somebody who is just very unique, I'm loving the energy. I'm loving she's down south with us, but she is bringing some straight up New York vibes. Straight from the Bronx.
Already.
We got Yo Aphro in the building. That's what I'm talking about. And she is here to shed some light on something very critical, something that has been brought up. If you're in the Ringside group or if you're in any relationship form, I'm sure this has been brought up a few times. I know I've seen it, but she's bringing a perspective that I think a lot of people can benefit from. Mm-hmm. We want to talk about something that, a lot of people, particularly black men, have shared in groups. So, of course, I'm a dating commentator. All things I talk about are related to dating, relationships, marriage, sex, kink, and fetish. And I'm in conversations and forums throughout the day, with men and women talking about dating, marital preference, so on and so forth. And you hear the word submission comes up a lot. A lot of men, that's at the top of their list what they want from a woman. They want a woman that knows how to submit. Particularly, we see a lot of black men say, look, a lot of sisters don't know how to submit. That's their problem. And occasionally, on certain occasions, you'll have a brother come out and say, look, you need to get yourself a Dominican woman. You need to get yourself a Puerto Rican. You need to get yourself a Mexican. Those women, Latin, Hispanic women, they are raised and they are taught to be submissive to their men. And you'll see black men really advocate and really encourage other black men to somewhat deviate from black women or go get themselves an Hispanic woman. What would you say? Well, number one, is this something you've encountered before, or have you seen, these beliefs and generalizations play out?
I can honestly say that, I have encountered, situations where, it was put out there, as far as the submission type of ordeal, get you a woman that's Latin or even a white woman or, a woman of another culture, of another race. Usually their upbringing is somewhat different from what we're used to. And, and me personally, love is love, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that we're all raised to respect one another, and that's my belief. When you respect someone, you find that true love, the honesty, the happiness, everything that you desire, the things that we all deserve, you can find that. It's not about the culture. It's not, it's about what a person has gone through, I believe. It's about taking the bullshit and not, you know what I'm saying? You know what you're going to deal with and you know what you're not going to deal with. You know what I mean? Because we could be told, get a white man or get a Korean man because he does more for his family. What? Come on. Any human being that knows about true love and knows about true respect would just go forward with that and be fine with that. It's not about going out your race to find that happiness and to find someone that's going to support you. That's not what it's about. It's about loving yourself. When you love yourself, the person that you encounter, they'll give that back to you. They respect you the way you respect yourself. Forget about all that other stuff. I mean, come on. Really? If you feed me bullshit, I'm going to give you bullshit. It's not about submission. It's about respect. I used to hear stories about, women up in New York got a lot of mouth, coming down here in the South. No, it's just, I don't care where I'm from. If I'm raised to smell bullshit a mile away, then that's what it is. And if I'm that type of person that's just open and speaks on it, then come on. You're giving it to me. You gotta learn how to reciprocate. You gotta receive that. This is what you gonna get. Okay, period. But you do have some women out there that don't want to deal with the conflict. And they handle things differently. You know, some women may not say nothing and they just be out, ghost the situation. Some women may not say nothing and they'll be afraid, and you really won't ever get the truth out of her because she feels kind of convicted. She feels like, you know, oh, he says I'm crazy. He says I'm insecure. He says that I'm da 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 da. You know, oh, maybe I should. No, just be yourself. Listen, I can't be bothered. I can't.
So, I mean, these are stereotypes and generalizations that I see ever so often. I'm not going to say I see them every day or every week, but occasionally, and it always comes from, you know, a black man. It always comes from a guy saying, you know, advocating, like, you know, the culture, you know, the way they're raised. Unlike, you know, black women, you know, Hispanic women, they're taught early on in their homes, you know, from their parents, you know, you as a young girl, you're supposed to make your man's plate. As a young girl, you're supposed to iron his clothes, or, you know, bring him his beer after work. You know, these are things that, you know, people rattle off, and it seems like it's always pointing towards this unique upbringing that Hispanic women, and typically the guys will throw out Dominican or Puerto Rican. You know that seems the most predominant. But, you know, a lot of them just like, yo, fellas, you need to get you an Hispanic woman. You need to go down to Cuba or Puerto Rico. They know how to treat you. They know how to take care of you. But this is a prevalent mindset with a lot of men. And it plays out. It does cause some division. It does cause, you know, a lot of stereotyping, because now some of these guys really do look at Latin women like, okay, I know you're going to submit to me, you know, and things like that. So, you know, is this... You know, do you think, you know, maybe not even with yourself, but do you think that there are some Hispanic women, you know, who are just, that's ingrained in them as far as, you know, how they're raised, how they're taught?
Absolutely. And there's black women like that too.
Mm-hmm.
There's Korean women like that too. Like, it's just, again, it's the upbringing, especially if you have two parents in the household. Sometimes you may not just have two parents in the household. You may have two parents and the grandparents in the household. So now you got generations in the household. So what do you think a person who is brought up in a household where you have generations in there, what do you think their mindset is going to be when it comes to a relationship? Mm-hmm. Right? So it's a little different, you know. So some women I know, they love to do things like that for their husband. Or their boyfriends, you know what I mean? Like, why not? These are nice little gestures. And, you know, every once in a while he may come home with some flowers, you know what I mean? Or he may want to cook for me, or he may want me to, you know, go to the spa for the day. You know, we can spoil each other. It's not about, you know, go down to Cuba and go get you somebody that's going to do... Get the fuck out of here. You can go right around the corner and find somebody. Are you kidding me? You know, it's the desire of wanting to be loved. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly feel like everyone deserves that. Everyone deserves that support, that feeling of this person worships the ground that I walk on, and not in a negative manner. It's all good because that person really supports me, and it's okay to let go and support that person. When they're down and out, I'm right there. That person is right there for me. You know, unfortunately, where I come from, it's not always about both parents being in the household. I was raised by a single woman, so of course I heard a bunch of things like, oh, you know, the guys just want to get in your pants, and when they get in your pants, that's it. You know, negative things because of whatever she went through. But you know what? I had to turn that around and use her experiences and turn it into a positive, you know, and think about the mistakes that she made and said, you know what, I'm not going to do those things. You know, I'm not going to go ahead and assume that a man is supposed to do this, that, and no, I'm not going to do that. I know that happiness is earned. You know, you have to respect yourself first. I feel like conversations like this, when you overhear other men say certain things, the insecurities within a man too, you got to question that. Like, where are you getting that from? What is it that you are lacking? What is it that you want and you feel like you're not getting? Like, what aren't you doing for yourself?
Right on.
You know what I mean? Like, how would you feel if someone dissed your sister because, oh, I heard that the woman down the street or there's a chick out in Puerto Rico that I can go meet and she'll do everything more than what your sister's doing because your sister just doesn't have. Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like, how do you figure the audacity? How would you feel if your mom felt some kind of way about that? You know, I mean, we're all working hard people and we all want the same thing. Again, it's about respect. It's about, knowing what you want for yourself and not being afraid to live out the box. Like, you don't have to love within your culture.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go outside your culture to find love. Sometimes our hurt, we have to know what we're dealing with. When we meet people, we got to know what their background is about. We got to know the baggage that they're bringing before you go ahead and say, oh, we can find this. No, you don't know what that person went through.
People bring a lot of baggage in
That's right.
relationships.
So you have to delve into that. But no, we're all human beings. We're all, us women, we're all emotional creatures. But, we're not going to deal with the bullshit just like you're not going to deal with the bullshit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think that we need to be kind. We need to love one another more and, do what's right. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Just
and then
do the
you
right
can
thing.
do the right thing. That's it. And if you're that type of person that's conniving, then you're going to get the conniving shit that comes with it. If you meet a Latin woman, a black woman, a Korean woman that has dealt with the bullshit before or not, when enough is enough, it's enough. That's it. You're going to hear about it or you're going to feel it.
So, really quickly, because we want to transition to different element of the interview based on something you just said. You said where I'm from. Anybody that knows you knows, just from the moment I met you, you are dripping with New York swag. So really quickly, break it down. Where in New York are you from? Where you represent?
The Bronx, honey, the Bronx. I originally was born in Manhattan, Alphabet City. For those that don't know what Alphabet City is, it's like downtown, the Lower East Side. It's close to the Village, over by the FDR. So, you got your Avenue A, B, C, and D, and then you got you start off with your numbers, you start off with your Broadways, the Houston Streets, into the Village, Soho, yada, yada, yada. So I was born and raised down there first, and then I moved out to the Bronx when I was 10. And that's what got me. Hip hop, just like, that's what I'm about. I bring up hip hop because that is my life. That's what kind of raised me in those streets. So
being from New York, being from the Bronx,
yeah,
I gotta ask, are you a Cardi B fan?
I love Cardi B. Are you kidding me? I love me some Cardi B. She reminds me of my cousins. She reminds me of my aunties. She even reminds me of my moms in some ways. So, but I love Cardi. Cardi's so real. Like, she was actually one of the first artists on Love and Hip Hop that I knew that she was going to do big with, because her voice was just so
Very
dope.
unique.
Yes, and it was
Her
so dope to
personality
me.
is unique.
Right, but and her, like you said, like, her spirit was just always just out there. But when I heard her rhyming, I was like, no, hold up.
No, she got talent.
She might be the first one out of everybody that we really gonna hear about. And sure enough, like, I love Cardi.
So as far as the Bronx, I mean, you got Cardi, you got J-Lo. So who's higher on your list? Because they both definitely. I mean, J-Lo, she represents the Bronx too.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, you know what, they do it in different accords though. Cardi has her own set, and J-Lo has hers. J-Lo, I love me some J-Lo. Oh my God, like, she acts, like, I love her acting, especially. Like, some people feel some kind of way about it, but I'm like, yo, like, honestly, like, she gives it to you all. Like, she's very talented, And yes, being from the Bronx, one up on that. Are you kidding me? Also, like, I used to dance back in the day, and I still dance. But we actually attended the same audition. I cut school for it. You know what I'm saying? It was for the In Living Color audition. Rosie Perez was there. Everybody was there. Big Les, everyone that you could think of from back in the day, the 90s hip hop dancers, everybody that you could think of, we were all there. And it was a blast. It was such an experience. And as you know, she ended up winning. So there you have it. But I love me some fly girls. They were always dope to me.
Yeah, back in the day, I had a little crush on Big Les. But, it's all good. But so
shout out to Big Les.
Big Les, that's what I'm talking about. So being from New York, being a Bronx girl, and moving down south, I mean, I know you've encountered some dating and relationship norms that maybe slightly different. things, just in general, things down south, we do things a little different.
Yep.
You come down south, particularly when you come down to the dirty south.
Yeah.
And a lot of that translates also in the way we date.
Yes.
In the way we court, in the way we marry, so on and so forth. What are some big differences from a proud, New York girl, from your background? What are some of the biggest dating, nuances you've encountered, since you've seen and observed since coming down south?
Well, the Southern hospitality is, come on, that's self-explanatory by itself. I will say this: I moved out here because of my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the dating scene, it was a little different back home. I was like 19 when I moved out here. So, living back home in New York, when you date, and it's not so much dating, you talking. Back then, you were talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Either talking it out. Right, we talking right now. We're going to see how it goes. It's different out there. The hustle and bustle back home. You got public transportation that's 24 hours. Out here, you have to drive.
Oh, yes.
So, you're getting picked up, you're getting dropped off, that's a must. I'm not saying that it wasn't the case back home. I'm just saying that, the dating scene here was so much more mature than it was back home because of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting older. I'm wanting different things, So, luckily, some of the friends that I met out here, some of their experiences, if we all do the couple thing, and it's consistent, everyone seems to be doing great. There was really no issues that I can say that I can sit back and be like, you know what? It's been some real ghetto ass ish between this one and that one. Everyone seems to be on making moves out here, wanting to start their own business, whether it's by yourself or with, your spouse, your significant other. A lot of people were trying to put in the same pot. I noticed that moving out here, again, like I said, the hustle and bustle is a little different. Back home, you on your win-win by yourself. You got to keep it moving. You can't trust everybody. Like you said, you're going to do that. I don't believe you. I'm going to do this over here. You know what I mean? But here, you can actually get your click and really make things work, and then utilize this and take it back home and become crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the relationships, though, I can honestly say Southern hospitality, it's different. The guys out here are a little bit more, they're wanting to take you home to their mom a little bit quicker.
Hey, if we like you, we want moms to meet you.
Right,
and which is, that's a lot of people don't understand. That is a huge, that's a pat on the back. We like you enough to where we want to introduce you to our mother.
Yeah.
A lot of women may not get that. I mean, some may, some may not. But when we spend that much time with you, we like you, we talk to you for that long, and we dig in your vibe that much, and we say, hey, I want you to meet my mother. You're saying something.
That's right.
You're doing something. Whatever you're doing,
That's
keep
right.
doing it.
That's right, because to me, the way a man treats his mom will be the way that he treats you. The way that he respects his mother, his sister, the women in his family will be the way that he respects and looks at you. And any other woman at that. Like, you're going to see him being able to open up the door, making sure that strangers, women, are doing things first, like getting on the bus first. You know what I mean? It's just different. And again, I'm not taking nothing from the guys back home, because there's great guys back home. I'm just saying that when I was out there, around the time that I decided to get out there and meet different people, it was a different type of shebang out here. And you're right, when you do get invited to meet a man's mom out here, it is a big deal, because a lot of the men that I've met, and not just for me, but just my friends, they respect their moms. You know what I mean? And that's a big deal. And the way that I was raised, again, you respect your mom, you respect your father, and if you can't respect them, I can't deal with you, because what does that say that you're going to do with me? So but it's been a beautiful thing, just watching some of my friends just blossom out here, coming from New York, thinking that they couldn't do anything out there. They're not attractive, they're not this, they're not that, and they come out here, they start to do their thing, they are owning their own businesses, and then everything falls in place, and they end up meeting that right person that has possibly been preparing for you. You know what I'm saying? And boom, there you have it. You found the right person out here. Y'all on the same accord. Y'all trying to get the bag, do this, do that. It's a beautiful thing. But I always feel like your grass is always greener just where you water it. So there you have it.
I'm digging that.
There you have it.
Second to the last question, because I talked about you moving from New York down here, to Georgia.
That's right.
And some of the nuances you've encountered. What would you say in reverse if there was a man or woman, raised down south, Southern hospitality, the whole nine, and for whatever reason they have to move up north, and they have to move to the New York, or they have to move to Jersey or someplace like that, and moving up there, they will be in a situation where they will date, New York men, New York women. What would be some preparation tips you would give this person, someone who's never been in New York or is not very familiar with northern exposure? They gotta, like, hey, I got a job in New York, I got a job in Jersey, moving up there, but they're also single. They're saying, hey, I want to meet, that man or that woman designed, for me. But what are some things that you would say, look, before you go, you may want to pay attention to this, then, a third. You may want to do this, not that. What would be some things you would tell? Like for me, if I said, look, I'm moving to New York, if I told you I was interested in dating, what would be some things you would tell me, before I move up there?
You better keep up, because everybody moves fast. Make sure that your style game is on point, because they will call it out. What are those? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not matching, or, put on that shield, because everyone's very, very blunt. So if you're trying to, you're in the dating market, just understand that sometimes the way that we express ourselves is not just on some old, we're trying to hurt your feelings. It's just being real. Like, we don't have time for the bullshit. Like, get to the point. That's it. We either gonna do it or we not. It's either cute or it's not. We either fly or we not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it.
No
that's
gray
it.
area.
Don't go up there like thinking that you're gonna always get help. You gotta find out on your own. You gotta do stuff on your own. No one's gonna be helping you, especially grown people. No one's gonna be helping you. You gotta do everything on your own. You know what I'm saying? Get in the hustle, think fast, move fast, because they moving up there a lot quicker than down here in the South. And they're not telling everybody, their business. As far as the trusting type of thing out there, like, you're brought up not to talk to strangers. And I think we all are. But when you're living and you're from the concrete jungle, the people in your own building, you're talking about a building that may have like 20 units in it. You're still not cool with people up in there. You think you're bringing pie to people? No. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? It could be someone that's chopping people up next door. We don't know.
Like, you can't go knock on someone's door, hey, can I borrow some sugar?
No. It got to be like a year in before you really can say, you know what? I think this person can listen out for my door if someone's trying to break in or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't trust people right off the rip. That was something that I did notice out here. It was like, people were so quick to give you all of their information, tell you their business, tell you about their personal life, like real personal, intimate stuff. And I'm sitting back like, I don't even know you. Like, I don't get it. Like, why are you, but back home, somebody will look at that like, what you trying to get?
Like, what's your angle?
Get to it. What you want? Okay, I'm not stupid. Don't hit me. I don't care about all of that. Let's get to what we got to get to, So, but, all in all, Atlanta's beautiful. Come out here, enjoy it, love it, live your life to the fullest. And that's here anywhere. Back home in New York, please do your thing. But just live, love, laugh, be happy, Don't settle for less. Don't let no man validate you. Don't let no woman validate you. Be who you are and enjoy. That's it.
And get that bag.
And get that bag. That's it. Get that bag. Do what you got to do.
So
I'm getting my bag. You see me.
Exactly. And that's exactly
you
what we're...
see me.
That is an excellent segue. So, Yo Afro.
Word
which
up.
Afro is short for Aphrodite, correct?
Aphrodite, yep. That's
which,
right.
Very beautiful name.
Thank you.
And so, you are an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You are someone who you embody hip-hop.
That's right.
Hip-hop is your life.
That's right.
Dance is your life.
That's right.
And so you actually have your own merch line. You have your own inventory.
I do.
And so really quickly, kind of break down, because I mean we got it, we got to scatter around. We got the hoodies, we got the shirts. Kind of break down, the inspiration and the objective behind Yo Afro and your whole merch line.
Well, Yo Afro is pretty much a whole ball of the golden era. Mm-hmm. I'm that Renaissance woman, as some people may have said. They have put it out there, and I look at that like, really, that's how you guys look at me, and they're like, oh my God, you bring so much with you. And I'm all about the golden era. As you know, starting out in the industry, I was dancing for a group called the Idol Makers. That was with Kid and Play, Salt and Peppa, Sweet Tea. But I'm going to back up just a little bit. Like the way that I got started in the industry, I actually was called to do a part with Grandmaster Flash on the New Jack City soundtrack. And it was with this young female as well called Essence, the female MC. Mm-hmm. And we were able to do that. And from that, I met a young lady named Salima, and she was the one who actually introduced me to the Idol Makers family. At the time, she was dancing for Sweet Tea, and one of the dancers decided to dance for Slick Rick at the time. So they needed someone to come in. So... and that's how it started, went from dancing with Sweet Tea to doing a bunch of videos. One of the very first videos that I featured in was Talk About Sex with Salt and Peppa.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second was Express Yourself, Expressions with Salt and Peppa. And then, of course, one of Sweet Tea's videos was Why Did It Have to Be Me? In fact... there was a girl who was in the video who was singing the hook, Changing Faces. One of the, I'm forgetting her name, but, young lady, she sang her ass off. But if y'all go back to that video, Why Did It Have to Be Me by Sweet Tea, you'll see who I'm talking about. Okay. I want to say, was it Charisse? Was that her name? But anyway, really nice girl. But yeah, from that, I had the opportunity to go ahead and choreograph Kid and Play. Mm-hmm. From Kid and Play, now I'm doing other videos. Of course, the Funhouse video, and it was the Funhouse video. Funhouse song is what we actually choreographed, me and Salima. And then from that, Tretch, Naughty by Nature, we actually got to meet with them somehow. Well, I'm not going to say somehow. Hakeem Green introduced me to Naughty by Nature back in the day when they were called the New Style.
Jersey in the house.
That's right, East Orange. And man, that was like a connection, because that's family. That's like, you guys have no idea, like the history that I have with those guys. So, one of the things that I got to do with them that I cherish so much was being able to be featured on their first album. All of the female vocals on OPP is me. Okay. I'm actually on the album, track 9, I believe, called The Rhyme Will Shine On. So I got a platinum plaque from them. Oh my God, that was like, I take that everywhere with me. Oh my goodness, I got that back in 91 and I couldn't believe it. I had got a call from Vinny and was like, hey, Afro, we sent you something, or we're going to send you something. I need your address. And I was like, sure, what you're sending. And he was like, we're sending you a plaque. And I was like, really? At first, I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, okay, well, I'm thinking it's going to be something small or whatever.
No, it's a big one.
And he was like, no, yeah, it's going to be a big one. Make sure that someone's there. I'm like, okay. Man, I forgot I went away. I think I went to Jamaica. When I got back, my package was there, and when I opened it, I just was like, oh my God, like, it's a platinum plaque, like, it's huge, it was, it was such a big deal, and it still
that was a
is.
Big song. I think everybody knew that song.
Man, listen, I am truly grateful. Like, every day I look at that plaque, it just reminds me of what I was a part of, which is hip-hop history, and I can never say thank you enough. for allowing me to be a part of that. So, you know, from that, I started dancing again. I was dancing for Keith Sweat. Who else? Lord Finesse. Came out here to Atlanta after dancing for Keith Sweat, after meeting my ex-husband. And then I started doing videos out here. The first video that I did out here was with Freak Nasty, The Dip.
Right.
So if you was to go and watch The Dip right now, I'm actually the one with the big afro puffs, and I'm actually in the video more than Freak Nasty himself. Like, it was just crazy. Like,
I had to go back and look, and I saw it.
Yeah, it was so much fun doing that video too. You know, I had just had my second child. I think I want to say that she was not even a month old. So I was anxious to get out there, and then, you know, yeah, man, I had so much fun. The makeup artist, you know, he had the afro puffs on the wall, and I was like, you know what, I want to do something different, because by then I had already done Express Yourself, Talk About Sex. We also did Independent. And then a couple of like little one-off videos that I was in, you know. So I'm like, well, why don't I do something different? Let me go ahead and wear the afro puffs. And sure enough, like, we went there. I had so much fun doing that, you know. And then shortly after that, we did I did a video with Elton John, and
okay. That's somewhat of a big name.
Yeah, and it was a little different. It was a little different. Yeah, so, you know, we got to do the Lion King soundtrack, The Circle of Life, that video, and that was a lot of fun. But that one, I was actually featured as a singer in that video. So you could actually watch that video at the end of the Lion King, if I'm not mistaken, the platinum package. The video's on there.
Yeah, but we keep it platinum.
So, but you know, and then since then, you know, I my family, you know, life is life, and I had a record deal, you know, had to fly out to LA. Shout out to Sly, Slick and Wicked, Medina and Michelle. We were on Longevity Records, and everything happens for a reason. You know, you start to learn things, and then that didn't work out. So here it is now. I'm here in Atlanta, and I start to do things on my own. I'm starting to buzz. I'm starting to, you know, distribute CDs out the trunk of my car. As of today, I've distributed, well, I think I want to say 2006 I stopped, but it was like at 783 units out the trunk of my car. Okay. So, you know, and then I would also like help out like other groups that was there, you know, around that time doing their thing, DJ groups. Like, I would go and grab their promos and actually give that away if you bought a CD of mine, or if you was to take, you know, I would always like look out. I'm always supporting other artists and other DJs, especially the DJs. I love me some DJs. So
very integral part.
That's right. That's right. That's right. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for them. But yeah, you know, and I've worked with other artists out here. I'm an artist development coach as well. And then I have 4 beautiful, well, actually I have 6 kids. 4 biological. And we all dance together. My youngest is 5.
Got a whole house full of dancers.
A whole house full of dancers. We're all in the entertainment industry, so we keep pretty busy. You know, Yo Afro, again, it's just a ball of just great vibes. You know, I was brought up, like I said, in the golden era. I love me some MTV, Yo MTV Raps.
I was gonna say, I'm like, for the people, like, I'm a Gen Xer. I'm like, for the some of the millennials and the Gen Zers, they may not remember Yo MTV Raps. They, you know, but as soon as I saw your logo, I was like, yo, it's Yo MTV Raps.
That's right. That's right. That's
so it's like it definitely takes my mind back to, you know, Dre and you know, it's for me, it's nostalgic.
That's right. And
your entire apparel seems to be hip hop inspired, which is a great thing, and I'm definitely digging it. You are you're definitely an ATL influencer from New York, but I mean, you got things down here bubbling and buzzing. So for the people out there, I mean, you have a platform, you have a following.
I do.
For the people who want to, you know, for everybody out there, your information is going to be in the description. This video is going to be posted in the Ringside group. Shout out to Ringside. You know, if you're out there, if you're on Facebook, make sure you go to that search bar, type in Ringside LLC. Request to join the group, and either myself or one of the admins will admit you. But for the people out there who will be seeing this video, who want to follow you, who want to find you and maybe purchase some of your inventory, where can they find you?
Go to yoafro.com. You'll find everything. You'll you'll be connected to everything that I am involved with. I am a creative for a couple of podcasts. Moved into the whole program director title as well. But I work with a podcast called Junkies.
Yep.
So, and that's one of the hottest hip hop shows out here in Atlanta right now, hands down. It's just a great platform for independent artists. That's how it started. And, we're able to open up that window for those independent artists to get heard, also get insight on just information from other artists, like as far as how to distribute your own vinyl, how to, distribute your music, period. You know what I mean? And then sometimes we'll bring in the vets. Like we had MC Shan on the show, and he was able to drop some jewels and talk about the different things that he listens for, if he's listening to music, and how back in the day, when he was in A&R, or how the A&Rs would listen to music and only give it like 2 seconds and say, okay, next one, and why, so he was able to drop those type of jewels to a lot of, artists on the show while he was there. And we've had a slew of other guests too that has brought it, you know what I mean? So I'm glad to be a part of that. I'm also a part of a podcast called Hip Hop Dance Stories. Hip Hop Dance Stories is made up of myself, Aphro, Soul Brother Legendary, and Soul Brother V Love. Those two, they used to dance for Def Jeff back in the day. The three of us, we are all part of a documentary called And I Dance. And pretty much it's just going back into talking to a lot of the old school dancers from back in the day, finding out where they're at now and what hip hop really did for them and how it impacted their career. And along that journey, Play is the producer of this documentary. And shout out to Play, because you know what? Nobody else was knocking at our door asking us, hey, what you doing? What happened since then, and what has it done for you? Like, we see you doing this, that, and the other. How was we an influence? So shout out to Play, you know what I mean? And he went all over to gather information from so many different dancers to find out where they're at. And, I mean, he talked to Madonna's dancers, he's talked to Daddy Kane's dancers, he's talked to Janet's dancers. Like, you guys got to check it out. It's so dope, So I'm glad that I was a part of that. And like I said, Soul Brother Legendary and V Love as well, they're part of it as well, talking about their journey. So check it out. It's on streamways.com. It's a free documentary. You guys can check it out. And anyway, but we kind of like spun off from that, because it was a huge gap. We had COVID going on, so we couldn't do anything. But the bittersweetness of the COVID pandemic, people got to dig into their creativity, you know what I mean, and pull out certain things that they probably wanted to do. You got more DJs now. You got more talk show hosts.
You got more influencers. I mean, this channel was inspired.
Boom. During so why not? And I think it's a great way, because people need to get stuff off their chest. You know what I mean?
Express
and then
themselves
absolutely. And then for those that have found success in this, I think it's important to share. It's important to talk about how you've done it, because there's people out there that's been trying to do it and they don't know how. And it's very easy. Sometimes they live in doubt. You'll get over that. Your feelings are, sometimes things are just temporary, and you have to look at it that way. Okay. But Hip Hop Dance Stories kind of like opened the door to a lot of different things. I was kind of like put into that. I wasn't asked. They were like, you got to interview. So they interviewed me, and then they went ahead and was like, you got to interview somebody else. So it was like, that's how it happened. And then I just kind of like got into it. Like I loved it. I loved reaching out to people. We had Raheem from the Furious 5 on there. You guys can actually go back to YouTube, go to Hip Hop Dance Stories, Cuddy Mac TV, and you guys can check out all the episodes. Check out the one with Raheem. That was dope. From the Furious 5, that was so dope. MC Shan, I had MC Shan on there as well. Who else? I had Lord Finesse on there. Okay. Play, of course. So, we had a bunch of different dancers on there too. So yeah, check it out when you can. It's an awesome podcast. We're about to actually come back with season 4 too. So look out for that. YouTube, Hip Hop Dance Stories, and check out Junkies on YouTube every Thursday. At 6 o'clock. Come through. I'm telling you.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, I think that's a great way. We're going to end things right there. Everybody, You know, we're talking about dating, talking about relationships.
That's right.
Talking about sex, and we also talking about hip hop.
That's right.
We covering it. Everybody out there, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Aphro, you have been awesome.
Thank you. Oh, really quick. When y'all can, go to YouTube, check out my single, Cedric and Cedar. Okay, warning, real hip hop. This is my little hoodie right here. This is one of right here. I'm telling you, this is like one of my best sellers. You got the zipper right here. You can wear this throughout the whole year. You know what I'm saying? So, but check it out. Check out Cedric and Cedar on YouTube. Like I said, warning, real hip hop. If you really love it, you know, you gonna really feel this song right here, Cedric and Cedar. And I Kill the MC, I got Trife from that Junkies, I got KO the Prince, I got Elder Sensei from the Artifacts, I got Jay Garvey, and I got the Six Man, and of course, Yo Aphro! So please, check me out, like, subscribe, share the love, share the good vibes, and you already know, that's hip-hop! Yeah, and you don't stop, yeah.
Boom. All right, y'all. Catch y'all next time.
Peace.